Hey friends, welcome back. Today we're talking about something that comes up constantly once warm weather hits. And honestly, once people start shopping for outdoor cooking equipment. The question is, should you get a Blackstone or a regular gas grill? Now, if you've spent more than 5 minutes online lately, you've probably seen somebody outside smashing burgers on a flat-top griddle while dramatic music plays in the background. And listen, I get it. The food looks incredible. But here's the thing nobody really talks about enough. A Blackstone and a gas grill are not the same tool. And depending on the kind of cook you are, one of them may frustrate you, while the other becomes your favorite thing you've ever bought. So today, we're breaking it all down in plain language. No hype, no, you absolutely need this. Just real life cooking. And honestly, there's room for both. First, what actually is a Blackstone? So let's start here, because I think some people still aren't totally sure what the difference is. A Blackstone is basically a large flat-top griddle designed for outdoor cooking. Instead of open grates with flames underneath like a traditional grill, you have one giant flat steel cooking surface. Think diner cooking. Think restaurant flat top. Think breakfast at a campground. That's the vibe. You're cooking directly on seasoned steel. So instead of flames licking the food, the steel itself gets hot and cooks everything. Now, a regular gas grill works differently. A gas grill uses burners underneath metal grates. The heat rises around the food. That's what gives you grill marks, char, and that smoky grilled flavor people love. So right away, these cook differently, and because they cook differently, they shine at different things. The Blackstone is basically a giant outdoor skillet. Honestly, that's the easiest way to explain it. If you love skillet cooking, you'll probably love a Blackstone, because suddenly you can cook huge amounts of food all at once without heating up your kitchen. Breakfast is where these things absolutely shine. Pancakes, eggs, hash browns, bacon, French toast, all at the same time, and not one person has to stand inside sweating over the stove. That alone is why some families become obsessed with them. Then you move into things like fried rice, smash burgers, quesadillas, Philly cheesesteaks, hibachi-style dinners, fajitas, grilled sandwiches, stir-fry, breakfast burritos. A Blackstone handles those beautifully. And honestly, if you cook for a crowd, it's kind of amazing because you can feed a lot of people very quickly. But here's where people get surprised. A Blackstone is not really replacing a grill. It's replacing a griddle. That's an important distinction because sometimes people buy one thinking, oh, this will do everything my grill does. And then they realize, wait a minute, this hot dog doesn't taste grilled. These steaks don't have that flame char flavor. There's no smoky taste because there aren't open flames touching the food the same way. Now, can you cook steaks on a Blackstone? Absolutely. And some people actually prefer it because you get an incredible crust. But the flavor is different. That's the key. Different doesn't mean bad. It just means different. A traditional gas grill still does certain things better. If you love classic grilled flavor, you may still prefer a regular gas grill for certain meals. Things like burgers with flame char, hot dogs, brats, chicken breasts, BBQ chicken, kebabs, steaks with grill marks, corn on the cob and the husk. That outdoor grilled flavor is hard to duplicate on a flat top. And honestly, some foods are just easier on a traditional grill, especially fattier meats, because grease drips away through the grates. instead of collecting on a flat surface. Now with a Blackstone, grease management is still built in it, but you are cooking on a flat steel surface. So there's definitely a learning curve. Let's talk about cleanup, because this matters more than people admit. The internet sometimes makes Blackstones look maintenance-free. They are not. A Blackstone requires seasoning and upkeep, not hard upkeep, but regular upkeep. You have to oil the surface, season it properly, protect it from rust, scrape it down after cooking. It becomes a little routine, kind of like cast iron cookware. If you already love cast iron, this probably won't bother you at all. You may actually enjoy it, but if you're someone who wants to grill burgers and immediately walk away afterward, a gas grill might feel easier, especially for casual cooking. Weather actually matters more than you think. This is another thing people don't talk about enough. A Blackstone surface is exposed steel. So if you live somewhere humid, rainy, coastal, or snowy, you really need to stay on top of caring for it. Otherwise, rust becomes a problem fast. Covers help tremendously. Proper seasoning helps tremendously. But it's still something to think about. Gas grills tend to tolerate neglect a little better overall. Not perfectly, but usually better. Space matters too. These flat tops can get huge. And once you add prep tables, tools, squeeze bottles, spatulas, suddenly you've basically opened a tiny diner in your backyard. And honestly, some people absolutely love that. Others realize very quickly they don't actually want that much setup every time they cook dinner. So think realistically about how you cook now. Not fantasy cooking, real cooking. That's usually the best way to decide. Let's talk cost, because this is where things get interesting. A decent gas grill can range from budget-friendly to extremely expensive. Same with Blackstones. But something people don't always factor in is the accessories. Because once you buy a flat top, you suddenly want scrapers, spatulas, squeeze bottles, covers, domes, presses, cleaning stones, seasoning oils. And before you know it, you've built a whole outdoor kitchen system. Now, if outdoor cooking is your hobby, that can be really fun. But if you just want to grill burgers twice a month, you may not need all that. So, which one is better? Honestly, neither. They're just good at different things. A Blackstone is incredible for breakfast, large batch cooking, stir fry, smash burgers, fast weeknight meals, feeding crowds. A gas grill is incredible for traditional grilling, smoky flavor, simple outdoor cooking, fast cleanup, flame char, classic cookout food, and honestly, a lot of people eventually end up wanting both because they complement each other really well. One isn't necessarily replacing the other, they're just different cooking experiences. Here's my real advice. Don't buy based on social media hype. Buy based on how you actually cook. If your family loves pancakes, fried rice, breakfast burritos, cheese steaks, and hibachi-style meals, you'd probably get a ton of use from a Blackstone. If your family mostly wants burgers, hot dogs, grilled chicken, steaks, and quick cookout meals, a gas grill may still fit your life better. And honestly, there's no shame in being a simple burger and hot dog household. Not every meal has to look like a viral cooking video. Sometimes dinner just needs to get made. One last thing. Nobody mentions enough. Outdoor cooking changes the feel of summer. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. People gather differently outside. Kids wander in and out. conversations last longer. Neighbors suddenly appear when food smells good. And whether it's a Blackstone or a gas grill, that part is probably the real reason people love them so much. It becomes less about the appliance and more about the memories attached to it. The paper plates, the backyard laughter, the late sunsets, and the second batch of burgers because somebody brought a friend over. That's the good stuff. All right, friends, that's today's episode. I'd love to know where you stand on this debate. Are you Team Blackstone, Team Gas Grill, or are you one of those people with both sitting on the patio right now? And honestly, if you've ever bought an outdoor cooking gadget that turned out to be way more work than expected, I want to hear about that. I'll catch you next time.